to flow. 60 minutes. We are going to get into strengthening the back body, opening up the front body, using some twists to help find some comfort, and then find some back bends. Everything will be go at your own pace, at your own level. Do not allow competition with the self to power you and propel you into going deeper than you know that you should. Always err on the on caution. Like, less can be more here. No pose, no shape is worth hurting yourself. So be very careful. Move towards a wall if you are not a very proficient inverter, or if you do not already have a strong drop back into wheel pose for your back bends. Otherwise, the only props that you'll need are possibly blocks, maybe a strap if when we do a quadricep stretch you can't quite reach your hand to your foot. Otherwise, it's pretty prop free except for that wall, so the wall is needed. This class is mixed level, but again, this is something that you really need to tap in and be aware of what your own abilities are and what your own limitations are. No time to try and be a tough guy. So with all of the disclaimers said, go ahead and start in a comfortable seat. Instead of laying down, we're going to start more alert, because we really need to call in our energy and prepare ourselves for a really fun practice. So sitting up nice and tall. If you need to, you can move and rearrange any flesh beneath you so that you can really connect down to the ground. Take an inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears and then down and back. Belly pulls up and in. Breathe out. And then notice where the hands naturally want to fall, if it's towards the legs, in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra, or somewhere else. And then just be with the breath for a few complete breath cycles, ushering yourself into a calmer state of being, while still inviting in more energy for your practice. Reminding yourself that if the energy just isn't there for parts of the practice, you don't have to do them. I'm guiding this practice. I am not enforcing anything except for safety. So do what feels good in your body. Setting an intention to find your edges, your boundaries. Maybe leaning into them slightly, but not pushing through them. Giving them honor and respect. Just like you would any boundary set by a loved one. These are boundaries that you are setting for yourself. Now, Ujjayi breath is going to be very important in this practice. It's really important that we have that steady breath. It's going to help even as we feel a little nervous as we try new things, or there's a lot of effort in the body. That type of pranayama, that Ujjayi breath, really helps tone the vagal nerve, and it helps us bring calming into the body, control and steadiness. So if this is already in your practice, go ahead and invite in this breath technique. If not, place a hand in front of the face. Take an inhale through the nose and sigh out the mouth, feeling hot air on the palm of your hand. Imagining your hand as a piece of glass or a mirror. And you're fogging it up. Inhale, breathing in, bringing all that fog back into the body. Exhale out the mouth, fog up the hand. Feel the hot air. Now softly seal the lips and continue this. Breathing in. Same breath, just the lips are tightly or loosely sealed, I suppose, so the air can escape out the nose. still audible, still felt in the hand as if it's fogging up that glass. And then continue this. We're going to feel the movement of the hyoid bone, and that's going to allow that feeling, that sensation in the throat as we breathe. Letting both parts of this breath be audible. You can hear them. They don't have to be super loud, just loud enough for you to notice that they're happening. You might also become aware of, as we get through the practice, as there's more effort, and as you stay with this breath, that the sound, it gets a little bit louder. And that's good. That means the body and the breath are adjusting and adapting to the needs of the body. Begin inviting in some movement to the body, especially through the spine. So leaning from one side to the other. Getting some lateral bends. Feeling the side body especially. Just begin to open up. And as we open up one side, there's some compression on the other. Make sure there's no pinching. If you need to do less of a side bend to accommodate that, do less of a side bend, but let it feel good. And then begin finding big circles with the chest. As the chest comes forward, pull the shoulder heads back to broaden the chest and open the collarbones. And then as you lean back, grip onto the knees, and then push down through the shins to ground yourself and hollow the front of the body. Spread the shoulder blades behind you apart from one another. And then continue this. And then go in the opposite direction, noticing sensation in the hips as well as the upper body. Good. Traditional cat-cows as we sit here, or you can move into table if you'd like. Just flexing and extending through the spine. If you're still seated, take a twist. If you're on your hands and knees moving through your cat-cows, press the hips and the ribs from right to left. And then all of us together meeting in table and finding those movements, hips and ribs from left to right. Big circles with the chest over the wrist to prepare the hands, the wrist to support us. Pull the belly in, tuck the toes, press the hips back, stretch the bottoms of the feet, even the back of the feet. Come all the way forward onto the belly, starting by laying completely prone, completely flat. And notice how the low back feels here. You can send your hands by your hips if you like. You can tuck the chin and let the forehead come down, or you can turn your head to one side. It doesn't matter at this point. But just take inventory of the back side of the body. How do you feel laying completely flat on the belly? And we're going to gradually increase the bit of extension through the low back. So now let's begin to find our Sphinx pose. Elbows under shoulders. Let's get active. We want to activate the muscles that are supporting us, hugging onto bone. Push down through the elbows, down through the hands and the forearms. And then pull the elbows towards the pelvis. Guide the heart up and forward. Feel your rib cage. Pull away from the hips. Tuck the chin. Now pull the forearms apart from one another and feel the back open up. Push down through the tops of the feet. Firm the quadriceps. Squeeze the buns. Keep pulling the heart forward and up, spreading the collarbones, and then reaching up towards the sky. through the back of the inside of the neck while keeping the chin tucked. Very active Sphinx pose. And roll down. Let the hands come to the outsides of the mat, 10th of fingers. Inhale, roll up. Now, notice how much weight that you have pressed into the fingertips. Can you make a little bit less weight of the body into the fingertips and more effort of the back body, the spinal erector muscles, the glutes, maybe even the hamstrings by slight bend in the knees, pulling back at the heels. And maybe you can even keep the chest lifted where it is, press into the pubic bone, and begin to float the fingers up. The chest dip, take an inhale, try to lift it, tuck the chin. Maybe connect the fingers back, and then press into them, taking a little bit more liberties with your back bend. And low down. Okay, coming back up, inhale. Now, dip the right shoulder and look towards the left. Stretching through the front of the right shoulder. And back up. Left shoulder down, gaze to the right. And up. And roll down. Hands behind the shoulder heads, framing the upper ribs. Inhale, press into the hands, take the back bend. Again, pulling the shoulder blades together and down the spine behind you, opening up the collarbones in front of you. Back of the neck is long. Can you engage the back muscles, engage the gluteal muscles to help support this? Even pull the navel, the front of the belly, all the abdominal wall, in towards the front of your spine, compressing the internal organs. And then slowly release back down. Hands by the side. This time we're going to inhale and we're going to lift the upper body and we're going to reach the hands back, palms down. Inhale, float and lift. Tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Pull the pinkies towards each other. And now float the feet up by reaching the toes so far to the back of the space that they just hover. And then inhale, find a little more lift. Exhale, press down through the pelvis, but keep the lift of the arms and legs. Inhale, a little more lift. Feel the legs work from the quads, from the glutes, the hamstrings, all the way down to the toes. Inhale, a little more lift. Exhale, stay where you are. One more time, inhale, a little more lift. Exhale, release all the way down. You can bring the hands for a pillow for the forehead, bend the knees, sway the heels from side to side. Let the left leg be long. Reach back for the right foot. And try and stretch that quadricep. If you don't feel much, you can begin to pull with the arm, the heel, more into the glute and lift that knee up, but hug it towards the center. Don't let it come out to the side. We want nice alignment to protect all of the connective tissue around the knee. Release. Other side. And release. Hands back. Grabbing both ankles, finding our bow pose. Inhale, lift the heart, press the feet into the palms, and allow yourself to rock back towards the pubic bone. Tuck the chin, back of the neck is long, press into the hands, feet lift, heart lifts, inhale, exhale, stay, inhale a little bit more, exhale, relax. Plant the hands to frame the upper rib cage, tuck the toes, press up through table, child's bottoms of the feet. Child's pose doesn't feel good in the body. Table with wide knees and sway the hips in big figure 8 type circles. Letting the lower back round and dip. Good. Bring the knees back under the hips. Find your hands under the shoulders and begin walking the hands forward to find puppy pose. Heart comes down to the floor, underarms down to the floor. Chin is either looking forward, so chin down. It might be a little bit for the neck, so go ahead and let the forehead come down. This is a little too intense. Find a child's pose and let the elbows come to the floor and then just press the palms together and let the thumbs come between the shoulder blades. I'm demonstrating now. Reaching the hands forward, coming up into table, and then having a seat towards the heels. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, you're welcome to kneel. Inhale, reach the right arm up, bend at the elbow, and then rotate so you can pat yourself on the back. Use the left arm to help bring that elbow forward. Okay, so we're not out wide here, it's forward. From here, left arm reaches around. Now it's important that this left shoulder, we're not bringing it forward to do this. We want the shoulder back and the elbow forward. Okay, that's going to prevent injury along the shoulder. So think shoulder back, elbow forward to make this happen. And maybe the fingers just wave at each other. You can grab onto a towel or a strap. Maybe you can find the bind. But just make sure that there's still a sense of ease here, that you can move through the head, the neck, that you're not rounding at the spine to make it happen. This should feel a good stretch, but there should be a sense of ease in the body. And then we switch, releasing, rolling through the shoulders. Left arm up, rotate the palm. You can even help with this right hand. Steady as we let ourselves pat our backs. The elbow wraps forward, underarm forward. And then remember, instead of shoulder forward here, shoulder back, elbow forward as we slide the hand behind us. From here, noticing if we can get that bind. Maybe if they just wave at each other. Keep effort to be pulling the right shoulder head back and hugging the left elbow in. Very important. Deep breath. And relax, release, let it go, shake it out. Time to flow. Plant the hands. Lift the hips all the way up. And walk the hands towards the feet. Deep bend in the knees. Press palms in the shins. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Feel the backs of the legs here. And then a gentle fold. If you need to keep the spine long, grab blocks and find more of a cow shape here. So lifting the tailbone, lifting the heart. And then while keeping the heart projecting forward and up, let the upper rib cage begin to get heavier. And you're going to get that hamstring stretch. You may also notice the more that the back is rounded, the more that stretch moves up through the glutes and into the low back. You can pedal one knee, then the other. Maybe eventually the blocks go away and we can find ragdoll, bringing the feet maybe even further apart. Arms crossed, head heavy. Water-like movements. You can imagine wind-like movements through willow branches. Vayu essence. Heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, press down through the feet, rise all the way up. Little back bend or chest opener here. Reaching up, neutralizing the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step or hop the feet back into Chaturanga, moving through Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. Rocking forward, tippy toes, lowering halfway or all of the way. Inhale, lifting the heart, pressing into the hands. Remember, spread the collarbones apart, really project the heart skyward. Tuck the chin, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedaling out. First down dog of the practice. Give it some time, some patience. Spread the fingers. Lift the sit bones as high as you can, as far as away from the fingertips as you can get them. Wrap your underarms, spiraling them towards each other. Leg the upper back get as wide as it can get. Pull the low belly up and in. Heels not only down, but press them out towards the sides of the mat. Eyes forward, feet forward any way you like. Tiptoe, step or hop. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, rise all the way up. Hands to heart. Exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Plank pose, shifting forward, lowering down halfway or all the way. Pressing into the hands, lifting the heart, flipping the toes. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg to step it all the way forward. Back foot plants, rise up, bent knee in front. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, breathe in. Breathe out, plant the hands, right foot back, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips. If you can't tell, moving through Surya Namaskar V. Inhale, that left leg is going to step all the way forward. Good, rise up, breathe in. And plant the hands. Left foot back, Chaturanga. Inhale, breathe in, lift the heart. Exhale, breathe out, lift the hips. 5 breaths here. If you need to take a child's pose instead, take a child's pose or take a seat. Eyes forward, feet forward any way you like. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. And stand all the way up. Roll through the shoulders. Move through the waist, the spine, the obliques. You can twist here. Maybe bring the arms out to a T. You can also find side body stretches or back bends. Let's do that. So hands on the low back, soft bend in the knees, lift the heart up skyward, and then just like there's a limbo bar behind your shoulder blades, just reaching up and then just start leaning back with the body, allowing the thoracic spine to stay in line and the bend to happen in the low back. Coming all the way back up when you're ready. Neutralizing the spine. Breathing in to reach high. Breathing out to fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Plant the hands, step the right foot all the way back. Knee comes down, arms reach up. Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Planting the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, left foot back, vinyasa option, you can also skip it. Right leg reaches high and steps all the way forward. Left knee down, arms reach up. Breathe in and breathe out. Looking forward, gazing forward, stepping forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, left foot back, knee down, arms reach high. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the toe, right foot back, move through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts and steps all the way forward. Right knee down, arms reach high. Plant the hands, eyes forward, step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. This time press down through the feet, rise all the way up. Cactus the arms, lean the heart back. Neutralize the spine, bring hands to heart. Tuck the chin, slowly roll down. Now if rolling down, if that roundness in the low back isn't good for you, go ahead and swan dive down, hinging down, nice straight spine. Pedal through the knees. Left foot down in front of the face, bend both knees. Reach the right arm up and notice if you can straighten through the right leg. Perhaps beginning to straighten through the left, but maybe not getting there. Right hand down, left hand up. Both hands down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, right foot back. Knee comes down, arms reach high. Breathing here. Holding it for just a little bit longer. But now, beginning to lean the pelvis forward. So if you need to scoot the back knee back, you're welcome to, or place some padding under there. Trying to open up the hip flexors, release the psoas here. Need a nice open front of the pelvis for these back bends. So you can place your left hand on a block or on the thigh, reach the right arm up. Like you're really reaching towards the sky. Rotate the palm to the back, and as you lean the pelvis forward, lean the heart back, let the palm come back. You're going to notice a back bend sensation as well as sensation in the front of the right pelvis. If you'd like, you can even bend through the back knee, reach back with that left hand. Quadricep stretch, psoas release. Softly land the foot, plant the hand down. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee, left foot back to meet the right. Optional vinyasa here. Optional being the key word. Meeting in downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up, breathing in. Bend the knee, open the hip. Let it feel good. Lifting the left heel, rotating onto the side edge of the left foot, allowing us to slowly, with control, drop that right foot behind us, lift the pelvis up, wild thing. And then beginning to move back, possibly through a side plank, finding that three-leg dog or down dog split once again, and stepping the foot down. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, left foot all the way back. Knee down, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Again, letting this feel good, sort of rocking into it, noticing where your edges lie. Pressing into the edges enough to be sure they're there, but not pressing so hard that you break beyond them. Maybe steadying yourself with that right hand. Left arm sweeps up, and as you sweep it up, you're reaching, creating space all through, not just the shoulder girdle, but the serratus anterior. Rotate the palm to the back of the room as you let the pelvis be heavier towards the earth, more forward towards the top of the mat. You lift up the heart, you lean the shoulders and the arm and the palm back. Deep sensation of stretch. Push down through the front foot. Engage your back muscles, engage your glutes. Firm the quadriceps, hamstrings. So your trust muscles is what helps us with our back bends. Good, and now release, hands down. Frame the front foot, lift the back knee, send the right foot back. You might notice this even feels like a little bit of relief here. From here, you're welcome to stay where you are, go to downward facing dog, or move through vinyasa. All meeting in that downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip. And then lift up the right heel, come onto the side edge of that right foot, mindfully, slowly, as we take weight off the left hand, let that foot come behind. And then lift up through the hips, guide the heart forward. Breathing, Ujjayi breath. And then slowly, when you're ready, moving through side plank, letting it be its own shape before we find ourselves in our three-leg dog, that down dog split. Pedaling out. Eyes forward, feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Pedal through the knees. Plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose, knees down, chest down, chin down. Pausing here, hug the elbows in. Now push into the hands and then pull the hands back towards the hips as your heart shoots forward, and then press into the hands to lift the heart up. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, all the way back up, child's pose. Down dog. Option to take a child's pose. Inhale, knees down. This time we're going to exhale our chin and our chest down, but our right leg is going to extend up into the sky. So breathe in. Breathe out, right leg up, chin and chin, chest and chin down, hug the elbows in. Same thing, slithering forward. Tuck the toes, down dog. And do the other side now. So inhale, table. Exhale, chest and chin down, left leg up. Press into the hands, heart forward and up. Tuck the toes, down dog. This time we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to let that knee bend once we get there and pretend that we're going to touch our head with it. Are you ready? Inhale, knees down. Exhale, right leg up, chest and chin down. Hug the elbows in. From here, bend the knee, and then you reach as if you're trying to do a split, like you're going to let that foot touch your head. It may be miles away, that's okay. Now, extend the leg long, press into the hands, heart forward and up. Keep the elbows hugged in the whole time. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Other side last time. Inhale, knees down. Chest and chin down, left leg up. This time we bend at the knee. We reach, reach, reach. Perhaps if we were to lift, we could touch, maybe not. Extend the leg long, press into the hands, hug the elbows in, heart forward and up. Tuck the toes, down dog. Walk the feet wide at the back of your mat, heels in, toes out. Walk the hands back, hips down, heart up. Malasana. Garland pose. Palms together. Pressing elbows to knees, knees to elbows, palms to palms. If you need more space, make a fist. Really lengthen the spine up. Great opportunity to find an arm balance right now if you are into Bakasana or Prakasana, crow or crane pose. Good time for that. Letting the knees come up higher on the arms. Bringing the feet closer together underneath you, maybe even touching. Lift the butt up as high as you can, and then just drop into the pose. Leaning forward like chaturanga arms, and then begin to hug the heels into the glutes. Drishti is forward and down. From here, you're welcome, of course, to invert, to shoot back in chaturanga, although you're at the back of your mat, so if you're an inverter, really good opportunity to find your tripod headstand. So again, we're squeezing into the triceps, we find our crow, we tuck the chin, let the crown of the head come down, press into the hands, spread the fingers. Maybe this is where we stay, maybe both legs can come up. Breathe. Ujjayi breath. And then whenever you're ready, exiting the pose just like you left it. That was a little fast. Go as slow as you can. If you can, coming back up into that crow pose, even if not for long. Knees together and down. Give the wrists some love. Stretching them, massaging them. Come to kneeling position. And grab your blocks and place them next to your feet. You know where we're going. I know everyone loves Ustrasana. It's needed. Hands to hips or hands to the sacrum behind you. Again, open through the collarbones, lift up through the inside of the back of the neck, allowing the ears to pull back slightly. Inhale, and on the exhale, just lean the shoulders back, keeping the thoracic spine long. We're not trying to hinge or crunch in the upper back. That place stays nice and long. The back bending happens in the lumbar spine, where there's a natural curvature there already. If you'd like, finding something for the hands, keeping the hips over the knees, not in front, not behind. If you'd like, you can also tuck your toes, reach for the heels. You can also enter this with hands to heart or hands above you. And then keeping the chin tucked at first, but then allowing it to fall as you look back and extend back. Again, honoring your limits of the back bend. When you're done with your camel pose, sitting down or kneeling, keeping the spine neutral, and then taking a gentle twist from one side to the other when you're ready. Here's where we find our wall, guys. Okay. I'm going to use right here. So stand where your arms are your distance from the wall, and then turn there. Okay? You can have your feet apart, maybe even heels and toes out a little bit. Ideally they're in line, but if you need to have toes out, you certainly can. It's going to allow you to really engage and squeeze the glute a little bit more, which we need for support. Inhale, lift up, maybe even reach up. Press into the palms and begin gazing back until the fingers connect to the wall. From here, you're going to walk the hands down. You may need to walk the feet forward as you do so, but don't do it too much because you want to get all the way down to the ground. And then you want to be able to walk all the way back up, okay? Now, if you don't get all the way down to the ground, that's okay. We are going to find ourselves entering a traditional wheel pose soon. So that was our drill. So do it until you feel good about trusting your muscles to help you walk up and down the wall. You can do this several times. Yes, it may feel like, ooh, my back muscles. You're using them a lot. So engage, use the whole back of the body. Okay. Now, we're going to find our traditional wheel pose, and then we're going to combine the two, and if you're ready, you can do this with the wall again, or you can do it away from the wall. We're going to try a drop back. Again, I know you guys, so be safe. Don't go beyond your limits. Use the wall if you need a wall, or skip it. Okay, so just somehow, if you'd like to, super gracefully, making your way onto your back. Let's find our wheel pose. We don't really need to do a bridge pose because we've been engaging everything. Just make sure you really squeeze your butt. Okay, that's the biggest thing I'm going to say is squeeze your butt, press down through the legs, press down through the hands, hug the elbows in. So fingertips are facing towards the same direction our toes are facing. And as we press up into our wheel, we're going to let no weight come onto the head. Some schools of yoga allow that, but it can cause some damage at the cervical spine level. So what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that we have a glass of water sitting on our navel, and we're trying to lift it straight up like an elevator. And that takes pushing through our feet and our hands equally with as much force as we can. We're going to do it on our inhale, so empty your body of air. Inhale, press, and find your wheel. The mic's coming off. There we go. And from here you can walk your hands in or your feet in. You can get some movement, let it feel good. Feel good about your wheel. Squeeze in through the knees and straighten through the legs. Bring the chest forward. And then when you're ready, bend through the knees, bend through the elbows, and lower all the way back down just like you came. Almost lost my mic. Okay, from here, legs up a wall, which really means just legs up in the air. And then feet flat. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Here we go. Drop back time or back to the wall time, okay? So back to the wall to go as far as you can down. You can even do a drop back with the wall there to catch you. I have not practiced a drop back in a long time, so we'll see how this goes, but your energy is going to give me hopefully a little bit of bravery. That's why I call these the trust muscles, because we use them to get through our fears. You know, dropping back is scary. So to drop back, what we do, you can start with hands on the sacrum for support or hands to heart. Same thing as in Ustrasana, lift up through the collarbones, up through the chest, up through the crown of the head. Begin to lean the heart back as the pelvis comes forward. Soft bend in the knees. Maybe even changing the rotation of the hands, walking them down the thighs. If you can see the floor, you're going to make it. But you've got to trust yourself. If you're not sure, if you don't feel like you can do it, go to a wall. Otherwise, hands to heart, hands overhead, and a slow drop back. There we go. And we're in wheel. You can try a kick over. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. For me, I don't know if it's going to work today. Oh, almost. I'm going to give it one more try, guys. It's not happening for me today. So I'm just going to lower down. It's fine. funny, some days the things that are so easy, they just don't come. Yoga is so humbling in that way. But it's not worth exhausting ourselves to prove we can do something. Because what's the point? What does that prove, you know? So maybe tomorrow I'll drop back and kick over the first time and I'll laugh about it. But today, we honored our limits and we let it be enough. Windshield wiper the shins from side to side, laying on your back. Now, notice how this type of twisting feels. If it's not providing relief, I'd like you to sit up, and I'd like you to take some seated twists, because the thoracic spine can twist a little bit easier, a little more fully this way, while letting the low back stay stabilized. And turn in the other direction. So, for our forearm stand into scorpion, find that wall. Our backs, our shoulders, they're open, they're ready. I'm actually going to demonstrate with the wall just in case I fall over, since today doesn't seem to be my day for poses. So I'm going to do the same exact thing I'm going to have you guys do. So towards the wall, hands down, find yourself in a forearm plank, and then walk the feet in so you're in a dolphin pose. You're going to look forward and rock forward, lift the leg, and then kick up. And then find your wall. Just allow that to happen. But then push your chest forward and lift your gaze towards the wall as you walk your toes down the wall. Squeeze your buns. Maybe one toe comes away, maybe the other. And then come out of it when you need to. And you can practice this over and over. Sometimes with help with someone to stabilize your pelvis and help you get a little more lift out of your low back, you're able to get a little deeper. Your toes can actually get closer to your head. Most of us are practicing alone, so just be safe. Again, use the wall. Walk the toes down, walk them up, come out of it. Neutral spine. Gentle twist from side to side. Twisting is really good to go hand in hand with these back bends. When you're ready, you can find some cat-cows or some lateral side bends. This is us beginning the cool down process. If you have a little bit more fire left and you'd like to try a few more inversions, go ahead and go for it. You've got your wall. Everyone started by a wall, so go ahead, and if you want to kick up into handstands, you can also, scorpion's a little bit easier in handstand in my own opinion. Just make sure the heart is coming forward, you're spreading the collarbones, and you're lifting up through the sternum, lifting up through the chin, and then squeezing the butt to reach the legs beyond, and then hinge at the knees and reach the toes towards the top of the head. So yes, so try it in scorpion. If you are Shirshasana-ing it, supported headstand, I'm going to show you against the wall since that's what I'm having you do. So top of the head is down. You guys that I talked to you about this are already confident in your Shirshasana, but pushing down through the forearms, feeling space in the shoulder girdle, lifting hips up just like in dolphin, and then hopefully floating up, maybe having to kick up a little bit. From here, allow the toes to touch the wall, okay? Now with the knees bent, I want you to push your hips back towards the wall and feel a little bit of a back bend. But keep pushing into the arms so there's no weight in the head. I could slide paper under your head. From here, push, push, push into the forearms to lift the head up and look forward. And now you're in your pincha, maybe towards your scorpion, or maybe you'd like your head back down. In that case, you can let the legs come down as well. Taking your time. As you feel ready, coming to a seat, and then extending the legs long on your mat, turning sideways on your mat, finding a wide leg straddle. Inhale, lifting the heart, keeping a nice long spine. That might mean elevating the hips. I want you to keep your cow-like back as you just walk the hands forward. That might mean stopping at the forearms or with arms long, not letting the low back round or the upper back. We really want just a nice straight spine. If you're a flopper, you can come all the way down. I want you to flex through the heels, and I want you to bend your knees. Bend your knees, rotate the knees back, and then try and keep a flat back as you reach forward. No longer can you flap down. Instead, this is going to create stability in the hips instead of just more stretching in the connective tissue and the muscles. You've got the flexibility, the stability is what you need. Some of us have the stability, but not the flexibility. And then there's some of us who feel like on days we just have neither. And that's fine too. Okay, coming up. Now we still have our legs wide, but let's let our right hand come down on the inside of the right leg. You can come down the forearm or just the hands. Open up the chest, rotate it towards the left foot, and reach the left arm up and over. Side body stretch. Keep the chest open, rotating it towards the sky. Just a side body stretch. This is not a twist. Coming back up. Other side. And back up. Feet to the top of the mat. And now we're going to find both pose, but not for long. Lean back, legs up, reach forward. Legs bent or straight, yogi's choice. Breathe here. 10 breaths. If you'd like, you can extend your legs for half of them and then bend your knees for the other half. If you need to bring toes down to modify, sit up a little straighter and reach through the arms a little more. Pull the belly button in, and then try and just take some weight off the toes. Again, you can slip paper beneath them. After your 10 breaths, lowering into low boat pose, using even more core strength here. Shoulder blades are not touching. Look how I can cheat with my feet on the block. I won't do it. There we go. You're reaching to the front of the space, the opposite of locust pose. So this time we're using the entire front side of our body, but we're squeezing our buns. Reach, reach, reach. Opposite of locust, and soften. Relax down into the ground. Hug the right knee into the chest. This is called wind relieving posture. Isn't that funny? Allow the hip to open. That would feel good. Maybe some movement or circles. And then you have the option to bring it all the way across the body and take a twist. Now, if twisting in your low back has been a no-go for you, I'm going to suggest you do not do this. And instead, you just hug that knee into the body. Maybe make some circles with that knee. back to center, stretching the leg long, reaching through the heel, releasing the hands, and pointing through the toe as we very slowly lower the right foot all the way down. Left leg lifts all the way up. Bend the knee, hug it in. Pulling, releasing. You can find sort of a pumping action here if you like, or you can just hold still. Slowing the breath, slowing the mind, slowing the body. Allow the hip to open. Movement if you like. Noticing where you feel soft, heavy, or peace has entered your body. Notice if there's anywhere where you feel that opposite of peace, where you feel restless or stressed. Where in the body do you feel that? You can place the hand there, send special breath, movement there. Getting ready to send it away. Coming back up to center. Option to take that twist if you like, or just to hold at center, maybe stirring through the hip socket. Send the leg long up into the air, and then lower the foot all the way down. Tuck the shoulder blades beneath you. Spread the feet wide on your mat, maybe even off of your mat. Hands do the same, palms up or palms down. Take a big breath in with the whole body. And then the whole body relaxes, almost being absorbed into your mat. Feeling yourself completely at ease, no effort, the body. Nothing being asked of the mind. Allow your thoughts to go where they'd like to go. But tell them to be easy on you, to be soft, to be restorative. Enjoy your Shavasana. This is where I will leave you for this practice. I'd like to thank you for practicing with me. Always a gift and an honor for myself. The light in me sees the light in you, and I honor that. Namaste.